And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Let's go to Michelle now in Minnesota. Michelle, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thank you for holding.
Thank you. I had a car that I have a 95 Chevy Blazer, and recently I noticed a lot of antifreeze in the driveway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And sometimes the spots were bigger than 2 dinner plates, so it was pretty significant. So I took it in last week, and they did some tests, and they said that they found out the water pump appears to be going out. Mm-hmm. And they said the radiator cap was also loose, and then a gasket, I guess.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And so I picked it up and was driving it around after they supposedly replaced it, mm-hmm. or not replaced it, but that they looked at it.
Right.
And I heard this thumping noise that sounded like it was coming from the engine from that area. And a very loud, sounded like something loose was rattling around. So I happened to be going where I was going, pulled in, put the hood up, and there was steam coming out.
Wow.
and everything. So I stopped, and after a little bit I checked, and the radiator cap was loose, so I tightened that. And so I took it back in yesterday, and I don't think they heard that noise. They told me something else was going on, and I'm just wondering if that was something that was coming from the radiator, or the water pump, and I need to get that replaced sooner rather than later.
Well,
or...
you've used the word loose on the radiator cap twice, and radiator caps don't come loose. Radiator caps.
I'm sure they didn't tighten it after they checked it.
Well, that's just so. That is the chances of that happening, even in the most neglectful circumstances, and we all make mistakes, but the chances of not securing a radiator cap are almost slim to none, because when you're working on a cooling system, and we use special apparatuses for bleeding and getting all the air out, which I suspect that's what is the real problem going on here, is that your cooling system had air in it, and they filled it, and they looked at the radiator, and it was full. Or maybe, and it's possible, and I'm just going through, how this happens chronologically in any shop, and I have a lot of experience there. So you fill the system, and you're looking at the fluid in the radiator, and it's full. But it's really not full, because it's waiting for the thermostat to open. And often with electric fan vehicles, now your 95 is different, but with electric fan vehicles, the radiator thermostat doesn't open to 210 degrees, and the fan doesn't come on to 230. So you'll actually boil the water before you can. So the point is, you can't leave the radiator cap off on some cars and wait for the thermostat to open. So what we use, and in some Nissans, it's darn near impossible to get all the air. You have to actually jack the front of the car up and elevate the front of the car. And those are on cars and engines that have 2 thermostats. But I won't get into all that except to say, Michelle, that more than likely there was air in the system which caused it to overheat. And that's why the steam came out. And then the fact that the radiator cap was loose, it's possible that the technician was waiting for the thermostat to open, got called away on another job, or answered the phone, or picked his cell phone up and took a phone call, which is something that all businesses have to contend with, and was neglectful and didn't tighten the cap. Because caps do not, they're really difficult. You got to push down hard and turn them. So caps don't work loose, period.
I can't get it off myself.
I know. That's the whole point. Yeah. So here's what I want you to do, and I think you're there already. Wait for their input. Is your car in your driveway now or in the garage?
No, it's in my driveway.
Okay. Well, I think it would behoove you, maybe you can get someone to help you, with the engine cold, not fired up this morning yet, remove the radiator cap. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you push down really hard and turn it to the left, counterclockwise, mm-hmm. and then ease off of it, before you actually take it off, as you lift up on it and let it come up, fluid should come out anyway. It should be overfull, because that's connected to the overflow. So if it's not, and it's low, then you could add regular water to it and top it off, and then put the cap back on. So I think it should be tested or checked just for grins before you go back in Monday. But Monday, I think you should go right back to that shop and say, okay, there must be air. Well, you don't tell them what there must be. Just know that you can ask them, this is great, ask them, was any chance we could have an airlock in the system somewhere? Did you guys turn the heater on while you were bleeding the system? And they will think that where did you get this information? Wow, this lady knows what she's talking about. So again, that's what they have to do. And Michelle, thank you so much for calling. Let me know what transpires. I'll be right here next week, same time, and I'd love to hear back from you. And folks, that's the end of this hour. Another great hour coming up. Likis, you'll love us.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic.